When I was young, I thought of my family and my mother's family as being Jewish, but I didn't think of myself as being Jewish. Somehow I somehow came to the conclusion that they didn't think of me as Jewish, and I wasn't Jewish like them, and I couldn't be Jewish like them. I don't know why, because I think I have a twin sister, and I think her experience of that is actually different. But I think if that was the case, I think that probably the reason I might have had that impression is that they were probably trying to respect my parents' wishes in terms of how we were brought up, and maybe trying not to interfere in that. But I never felt that they cared about me any less than anybody else, or that I wasn't loved by them. I just felt myself to be separate from, or not a part of Judaism in the way that they thought of themselves as being Jewish. I didn't really think, I associated it with my family, and that's who my family was, but it wasn't something that I felt was as much part of who I was. And I think I didn't really think about that in terms of who I was potentially until probably maybe a little bit starting around the whole issue about confirmation happened, and then more in college. I think I got to speak a lot more with adults who themselves are Jewish, and having, not that I didn't know adults who were Jewish before, but just having adult conversation, people who I worked with and people who are teachers and things like that, and realized that actually that I could be Jewish, that it was about me and how I thought about myself and who I am in the world. And so I learned a lot when I was young, just on my own, just because I wanted to understand what it was that my family was. But I think at that point I started to learn more in terms of thinking about who I am myself and who I wanted to be. And the sense of being Jewish came to be more about some of the values that are in Judaism, about who one is in the world and one's relationship to community, and that idea of repairing the world and things like that. And I like, my twin sister is very involved in the synagogue that she belongs to, and she's the choir there, and I like participating in Jewish celebrations and traditions, whether it's at the home or the synagogue. But because I didn't grow up with them, I don't feel the same kind of connection to them that I would if it's something that is part of the memory and experience of childhood, even though I enjoy them. And I don't, for some reason, I don't always feel as comfortable in terms of myself being part of being a member of a religious community, even though I like going to things when my sister is doing things. But I think what's easier for me is the sort of besides the values aspect of it, is the sense of more the cultural aspects and being the sort of interested in Jewish things in my scholarly sort of intellectual life.